in London, ain't no summer for us. They're trying to take A, they want my brother in cuffs. They're trying to take A, they want my brother in cuffs.
Stonebridge artist Koke has received devastating news this week after Harrow Crown Court sentenced his blood brother, Alex Ramsey, to a 16-year sentence for a firearm conspiracy possession. This is in relation to a machine gun that was seized at an address last year, and 2 women were also jailed for 6 years for their involvement. Alex's DNA was also found on the firearm, and telecommunications between himself and one of the females who was holding the gun was also used as evidence in court. In this episode, we're going to discuss the judge's decision and the large sentence that was given, and also an insight into the history of Koke and his brother that was revealed in court. For the first time, we can discuss the historic elements of what the police called an organised crime gang, and also what a police profiler said in court about Koke and his brother. Veteran artist Koke has made many references to his brother throughout his music career.
On May 1985, 10 months later, my little bro arrived. From a child, I've been raised in the soldier way. Mummy didn't rap, she called us the craze.
And also in his Vlad TV interview, where he revealed the dozens of attempts that was made on his life and also his brother's over the years.
You were shot at a bunch of times. Now, your brother got shot.
Yeah.
How old were you when that actually happened?
I think I might have been, 20? Maybe 21. My brother's 10 months younger than me. He was probably like 20.
Okay.
We were standing up together on the side of the road. We both got shot at. He just ended up getting one out of it, you know?
Oh, so both of you were shot at and
yeah,
he actually got hit.
Yeah.
There was a review done on Alex Ramsey, and the police profiler Matthew Corbin tried to give the judge the best evidence to prove that Mr. Ramsey was associated to gang activity. This was to be able to increase the sentence and to make sure that they gave him the biggest sentence possible. The police profiler said about Mr. Ramsey that he believed that he was a member of the thugs of Stonebridge, and he also provided the court with a map of the local area where he perceived the gang territory to be. The police officer told the courtroom himself and his colleagues had gathered the evidence over several years. He went on to say that the review of Mr. Ramsey's record was held on the National Police computer, and they said he'd lived in the Northwest 10 area for the majority of his life, and where he lived was in the footprint of the thugs of Stonebridge territory. And this is an example for the judge to say he's associated, he lives in the local area. However trivial and circumstantial that is on its own, a lot of other evidence will support that. The police officer said that Mr. Ramsey is known to go by the street name Alwa, and he's been known to the police for many years in the area. Mr. Ramsey has a long criminal history, and his first conviction was in 2005, and the police officer in court said this was 10 years before he even joined the police. They said Mr. Ramsey was known to the police over a long period, and the police were also given briefings on how to deal with him due to his dangerous nature. Police records show that Alex Ramsey is related to Ryan Ramsey and Kevin Giorgio. Ryan Ramsey is Koke's cousin, and they previously were raided at the address when they lived in Stonebridge, and they are known to associate with each other and also have previous convictions dating back to 2009 together. The officer then speaks about Koke and says, "I'm aware of Kevin Giorgio. He's one of the more prominent members of the thugs of Stonebridge, and he's referred to in other documents handed to the court." They said that he featured prominently in the violence between Church Road soldiers and the thugs of Stonebridge, and they also mentioned that he had a successful music career and was a talisman figure for the thugs of Stonebridge, and many of his tracks were considered to be diss tracks. Koke's cousin Ryan Ramsey is also known to the police, they said, and he lived at the same address for a number of years with Alex Ramsey. Ryan had previously been charged in relation to firearm possession. They go on to say that Alex Ramsey had twice been charged with possession of a knife in a public place, once in 2003 and once in 2010, and he had no convictions for drug supply. He had 25 recorded convictions and 43 offences between 2001 and 2021. The police profiler said on the review of his offending history in relation to Mr. Ramsey, he has frequently been involved in crime over the years, and this includes breaching of court bail, community orders and suspended sentences. And they also note again that there was many recorded incidents of violence involving Koke and his brother being arrested and charged. However, these incidents, they said, are very historical. In a conclusion for the police profiler, they said Having reviewed the available material and utilising his local knowledge and expertise in urban street gangs, he made the following observations to assist the court. He said Mr. Ramsey lives and lived in the footprint of the thugs of Stonebridge area for a long time. Mr. Ramsey has criminal convictions for knife possession, violent offences, and they span over a large period. Mr. Ramsey is related to a well-documented thugs of Stonebridge gang member, Mr. Giorgio. They said these are a number of key identifying factors that he's a gang member, and they said that they believe he'd be an older at his age. However, due to recent arrests and criminal profiles of the thugs of Stonebridge members, there are many other offshoots that now exist. So that was a very damning series of statements from the police and the profiler as well, and also very interesting to see and get an insight into what the police will try to use against you in a court of law. Sometimes your character is really important, and it goes a long way in relation to getting you a sentence that is 8 years or a sentence that is 16 years. In this second part of the video, we're going to discuss what they said about the gang violence that was associated. The overview in court revealed by the police officer about the thugs of Stonebridge, aka USG. They said they are a Stonebridge estate gang, and they are locally referred to as the thugs of Stonebridge, and they have a long history of documented violence in northwest London. The Stonebridge estate is located near to the North Circular Road and is situated inside the postcode of NW10. The Stonebridge estate is split into two sides, Hillside, which runs for the area, and this road has a boundary that is created by those within the gang that identify being from one side of the estate or the other. The different names that are used to identify the thugs of Stonebridge, they said in court, are TOS, Shotgun Boys, Usual Suspects Group, and Machine Gun Murderers. One of the most commercially successful artists was Koke from the Stonebridge estate, and he had a top 40 single and has amassed 109,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. They said in court that a large number of these tracks were what they would call diss tracks, aimed at rival gang members, and they were threatening violence. Koke released a track called Listen Little Man, and is widely regarded by those who follow the drill and grime scene as a direct diss at his rival Courtney Freckleton, aka Rapper Nines.
Steady up. It done now. This little dickhead thinks he pissing me off. Sending subliminal shots. I send him something that'll rip through his top.
They also pointed out that Koke uses his Koke USG on Instagram, and this is a publicly identifiable signal of his affiliation to the group. They note that thugs of Stonebridge have strong links to other gangs, most notably the South Kilburn gang and the South Kilburn estate. South Kilburn gang members can enter the thugs of Stonebridge territory and use addresses, and vice versa. Thugs of Stonebridge also have links to Ladbroke Grove and Monks Park gangs as well. And they mention that the thugs of Stonebridge have a lot of gang rivalry and tension with a number of other gangs, mainly the Church Road Soldiers, known as CRS, and they share the same postcode. They go on to say there has been a long violent history. Other known rivals are St. Raph Soldiers and also Mozart and Kensal Green Boys. Stonebridge usually wear blue bandanas, and this can be publicly seen in music videos. This became widely known after the Craig Smalls murder. He was shot and killed in July 2019 on Harrow Road in Wembley. At the mural of the site of his death, it was covered in blue flags and blue bandanas. For a number of years, they said there has been a hierarchy of elders in the gang, with the more prominent and popular members featuring in music videos together. For example, the 2018 track called Busy, which featured Koke, Skeng, the late Craig Smalls aka Smalls, Easy, also featured in the song. Mr. Kevin Giorgio still appears to be involved in music but has physically stepped away from the area. As such, it now appears that the younger, lesser well-known gang members are involved in the violence alongside some of the olders who remain present. Another smaller offshoot from Stonebridge, they said in court, was called SOS or Shoot On Sight Group. They were a subset of thugs of Stonebridge and based in the same estate. They then go on to list significant ongoing conflicts between thugs of Stonebridge and Church Road Soldiers. The conflict, they said, has been going on for a number of years and caused the local community great distress. The Church Road Soldiers gang also have disputes and tensions with other gangs as well that are affiliated to thugs of Stonebridge, such as South Kilburn. And thugs of Stonebridge are by proxy in conflict with St. Raph's, who are aligned to Church Road. They then go on to list in court a number of firearms, weapons, serious violence and murders that have happened that they believe were connected to the violence between the two gangs. But the police revealed in court from March 2016 a series of events that they believe contributed to extreme gang violence. In March 2016, they said previous disputes between two groups resulted in jewellery robberies and also assaults and the drive-by shooting of Oliver Tetlow. He was shot and killed on Church Road Estate with a Scorpion submachine gun. The South Kilburn gang was suspected, and following tensions between Courtney Freckleton, aka Nines, and C. Biz, who was the South Kilburn gang member, they arrested him and also Mohammed Siamino. They were both found not guilty of murder at the Old Bailey following a trial. And the courtroom heard how in November 2016, a series of tit-for-tat robberies continued and culminated in a pedal-bike shooting of James Owusu, who was shot dead on the Church Road Estate, and a murder investigation was launched. Several months later, in March 2017, a video was shared on social media of Church Road soldiers with a chain that they believed to have been stolen from a Stonebridge gang member. They said in court that music from Courtney Freckleton, aka Nines, was played in the background, and the chain and pendant was held up to the camera with the text saying, "Another chain gone, Stone busy." They said this was in reference to the Stonebridge gang, and they referred to March 2017 when a video was posted by Unlimited Corn titled "Nines ICB Chain Robbed by Stonebridge." And they also said Koke mentioned it in the song "Listen Little Man." In another documented incident, they said in June 2017, Easy, a senior gang member, was stabbed in a McDonald's car park at the entrance of the St Raph's estate. This was by a large number of males, and Church Road gang members were identified on CCTV but were never charged. The next day, Courtney Freckleton, aka Nines, who is a Church Road member, posted a photograph on his Instagram account of himself and fellow Church Road gang member Jerome Manning, aka Super Blacks, posing with the chain. It's believed that St Raph's gang members took possession of the Church Road chain and returned it to Church Road gang. In July 2018, Beeg, a Stonebridge gang member, was chased by several St Raph's members, and he went near the home address of Craig Smalls. Franklin's vehicle was attacked by the group, and witnesses described one of the group had possession of a long-barreled firearm. The incident was caught on CCTV, and the gang members were identified and arrested. In May 2019, K1 was the victim of an attempted stabbing, and he was attacked on Oxgate Road, NW2. The police said that the vehicle that was used was an enterprise rental, and it was rented to a St Raph's gang member, till it left the scene before police could attend and refused to engage with them. In one of the more significant incidents that the police have said, in June 2019, Church Road gang member Nines was chased in his vehicle and he was involved in an RTC. This happened on Drury Way in Northwest 10. And they said that Stonebridge gang members that were Nathan Franklin, who's Mad Beeg, and Antoine Richards, who's AR, stopped at Freckleton's vehicle and stamped on him and also cut him and left him with life-changing injuries. Footage was uploaded to social media of the immediate aftermath of the initial RTC, as both of their social media @s were mentioned. Further footage was also uploaded to social media, and it appeared to show Nines receiving medical treatment at the scene. Franklin and Richards were both arrested and charged with Section 18 GBH. Freckleton is considered one of the most senior members of the Church Road gang, and they believe that the social media coverage was retaliation for the serious violence that had been started earlier on. Following the serious assault of Nines on the 1st of June, a video was circulated on social media that showed his crashed Porsche and mobile phone that is believed to belong to him. The social media accounts again of both of Franklin and also Richards were featured on the video. Voices can be heard saying, "Whose Porsche is this, Nino?" Of July 2019, Craig Smalls was shot dead, and this was outside a chicken shop in Monks Park, just outside of Stonebridge. Smalls was a Stonebridge gang member, they said, with ties to the older members. They included Lamal Charles, who was also known as Easy, Nathan Franklin, aka Boogie, and Kevin Giorgio, aka K-Coke. Stonebridge would mourn following the death of Craig Smalls and also his family as well. He was the father of 3 children, and recently several people received hung juries in relation to his murder trial. But to many people, they believe that is where it stopped. But the courtroom has heard that wasn't the end. This was just the beginning. That straight after the murder of Craig Smalls, revenge was being taken. What the connection between the St Raph's gang and the murder of Craig Smalls was, we don't know. But at the same time, retaliation was happening. On the 7th of July, the day after the St Raph's gang was shot, a man called Kwasi Mensah was shot dead inside Monks Park. Mensah, the police said, had a very strong resemblance to a St Raph's gang member called Darren Buchanan, also known as Pac-Man. He suspected the shooting was a mistaken identity, and several people were found guilty of his murder. And this was also what they believed to be another attack in revenge for the murder of Craig Smalls. In relation to another shooting that took place on the 3rd of June 2020, a 2-year-old child was shot, his mother and a male. The male, they said in court, was connected to Church Road. And the child that was shot was a relative of a man called Aaron Youngsam, who also stood trial for the murder of Craig Smalls. The 2-year-old was shot in the head and survived with life-changing injuries. His mother was shot 5 times in the chest and survived. Maurice Seaton had a gunshot injury to his arm, and Crash Corn from Stonebridge was arrested for attempted murder ×3. On the 21st of June 2020, Jerome Manning, aka Super Blacks, a Church Road member, was shot in a vehicle on Craven Park Road. And on the 17th of July 2020, Billy McCullough, a Mozart gang member, was also shot dead when they said that he came in a convoy of cars and opened fire on Stonebridge gang members and they fired back. They said there was gathering for the wake of the father of Crash Corn, who had been fatally shot in Jamaica. One of the Stonebridge gang congregating discharged a firearm at the back of the Land Rover. Multiple shots were discharged in the shootout and one of them struck Billy and killed him. And they believe that was also connected to the series of gang violence. The next incident was on the 12th of August 2020. Jeffrey Wegby, aka Gucci, is shot and killed outside his home on Hansel Road, London. Gucci was a South Kilburn Estate affiliate. On the 9th of October 2020, 2 firearms and ammunition were recovered from an address that belonged to a Stonebridge affiliate called Phibbs. He was charged and remanded in relation to the firearms. On the 9th of June 2020, a firearm and drug misuse warrant was executed at a flat in Stonebridge. They found shotgun cartridges, unspent rifle bullets, and they were linked to Stonebridge gang member. He was charged with the possession. On the 11th of June 2021, Stephen Sarpong was arrested for possession of firearms and also ammunition. 3 revolvers, a handgun, 17 rounds of ammunition were also located in the boot of his car while he was driving on the Stonebridge estate. He was charged with firearm offences and jailed for 7 years. A firearms warrant was executed on Windrush Road in Stonebridge, and a full magazine containing 30 rounds of 9mm ammunition and a substantial amount of Class A drugs were discovered. On the 30th of October 2021, Hilford Avenue in Wembley, Jerome Manning aka Super Blacks and Shay Williams, both CRS affiliated gang members, allegedly fired 20 shots from 2 firearms at victim Jarvis Answer, who suffered life-changing injuries. The offence was caught on CCTV and both of them have been charged. On the 30th of December 2021, reports suggested that Ty, a CGM gang member, was stabbed in Kilburn. Social media posts by Church Road soldiers said they was mocking the stabbing. On the same day, there was 2 firearms discharged in West 10 and also NW 10, and they appear to be in retaliation for the stabbing. And that is just a small proportion of what the police have revealed that they know as well. And it is actually breathtaking to realise most people think that something just stops as soon as somebody gets killed, that's the end of it. And it's often encouraged on social media as well, telling people to get revenge when people don't realise the real realities of what actually happens, the amount of innocent people that get caught in the crossfire. So as you can see, Koke has been through a hell of a lot, and his comeback recently with his new project has definitely been long awaited. He even went to prison in order to be able to release this for the fans because somebody tried to withhold his music and stop him from being able to do this. Following his release from prison, he went straight to work to get the music videos released for this project that was heavily delayed. He's also done interviews with Tricky on Link Up TV and appeared on Anything Goes with James English in relation to the promotion.
Now, yeah, bro, people are died, people are dead. You get what I'm saying? And it's still active, like.
But bro, that's the only thing. Catch me. That's the only thing. And I see you take a huff and a lump in the throat. Cool. Like that's the only thing that wouldn't make me pressure this situation.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Because man have died. R1 man have died on our behalf and this, that, and the other. But I wouldn't sit here and lie to you and say it's still majorly active. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've got man I'll never speak to in my life.
Yeah.
I've got man if I see today, then it might be curtains for either of us.
Yeah.
Do you get?
Most of the songs are featured on his own channel as well, and all of the promotion has been independent. And he's also featured on Kenny Allstar's General's Corner.
With a hammer bang, you can't touch this. Block spit, I got a baddie in the cockpit. She love hitters, trying to hold a hitter hostage. stone cold like Austin. Rose gold, shit froze, wrist frosted.
And music videos he's released have featured Ambush, Crash Corn and C-Biz and RD from Brum.
Spill that juice on koi if I spin that coupe. On war like Kim Jong-un, 4 kick like Claude Van Damme. Fuck swords, my 4 bang bang. On board my core gang gang. Tom Ford, Dior man bag.
And he's also hinted at a new project that will follow shortly after. Kokes' career has definitely been a rollercoaster and anything but uninteresting, and I'm sure this is not the end. He's going into production and signing people and definitely moving forward with supporting artists from the UK. As a pioneer and a veteran of the industry, I think many people would agree that he's due his flowers. So I really appreciate you joining me, and I really want to hear what people have to say on this story. Don't forget to go and like, comment, share and subscribe, and check out his YouTube channel, and also follow him on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter and social media platforms under Koke USG. And I'll be back again very shortly with some more news.
Fuck motherfuckers, I'm a boss. I could take a loss, motherfucker, pay the cost. I'm a top motherfucker, you are not. The way I ring the ting, you will think I tied the knot.